Here's some real ugly. Look at the grass that has grown up through my fabric. Welcome to K&D's Homestead. I'm Donna. This time of year is very difficult in the garden and in the yards. This is the time of year when things start to suffer. This fabric has been down 4 or 5 years. I'm not sure. I have never had weeds like this on top of my fabric. I mean, it needs a lawnmower in here on this fabric. I can't believe how that has grown. I do have some green beans that I need to pick on this one singular plant. Weeds here, weeds everywhere. Weeds coming back in garden beds that I've cleaned out. The heat has just destroyed. I've got weeds in all of my pots. These were supposed to have been set out. These are young elderberries that I've had all summer and have not had time to set them out. This this right here is a basil, sweet basil. I don't know how it got in this pot with the elderberry, but there it is. Flowers that normally just endure the heat and do so well, crisping over. I just can't believe the weeds. I don't know how I'm going to get the weeds out of this garden. That are just depleted. I need to come in and just cut all this out. I really wanted to dig all these out in the first place. This was on a video earlier in the season, and it was overgrown in a good way. I mean, they were very healthy, but they were too crowded, and I said I needed to thin them out, clean them out. I didn't get to it, so that didn't happen. Here's my rose bush. It's not suffering. It looks healthy. This little plant here, this is my oh, help me with this. My goodness, I've gone brain dead. Water is standing everywhere. I've got water standing here in the garden. I've got some green bean plants here, but I don't see any on it. These are strawberries here, still need to be pulled out. This is my sweet potatoes, but look down on the end of the box. It's getting overrun with weeds. That box back there is actually a flower box. It's a raised bed just like these, and the weeds have choked out all of my flowers, and those weed grasses and such that's in there, they're probably 8-9 feet tall, and so thick in grass in there. I don't know how I'm gonna get all that out. Look at these tomatoes. Like, this plant is completely dead, and yet it's full of tomatoes. And when I last checked out here, this plant had a bunch of green tomatoes that did not look like they were going to mature to anything. I'm kind of surprised. I disregarded this plant, figuring it just needed to be pulled up when I could find the time to get out here. But the heat has been so bad, I just couldn't tolerate being out here. So I just kind of ignored everything, assuming it would die and put itself out of misery, which it kind of has. I mean, there is nothing green on this plant. Nothing. This is pretty interesting. I'll take it. A couple of them fell to the ground that are no good, but these look like they're pretty good. I will take them in and see what I can do with them. I also have some paprika peppers that are ready to be harvested. They're small, but they're still good. We had such a heavy rain last night. Everything is saturated. Okay, this one don't want to let go. There we go. There's so much out here that just needs to be pulled out. And I know that I should have been out here doing it. That one's rotten. But with the heat, the humidity, it's just not been physically a good time for me to come out here and try to do this. I mean, it's just been extreme. And I keep thinking, why is it so bad this year? And my husband is telling me it's always this bad. It's just affecting me different because each year I get older. But I truly don't remember such hardships in the garden. The pepper plants are hanging on really well. And I've got pepper plants in my front garden that are loaded with green bell peppers, but they are supposed to turn red and orange. I've been getting a lot from them, but they are pretty healthy. And these are up taller than I am. Of course, I mean, you got to account for the height in the box, so that if they were in the ground, they would not be taller than me, but whatever. They're doing really good. I love these paprikas. I do a lot of cooking with paprikas. Well, with the paprika powder. I dehydrate them and grind them up into a powder, and I use them in so many recipes. I love them on my potatoes, French fries, breakfast potatoes, a lot of my meats, not all of them, but I will season pork chops and chicken with paprika, along with a whole bunch of other seasonings. But I do really love these paprikas. I need to put out more next year. I only did 6 plants this year. And next year I will I'd like to put out maybe 9. This tomato plant has quite a number of tomatoes. They're green tomatoes on it. One really good sized tomato. But I'm worried about this one developing that blossom end rot. It's just a darkening of the skin right now. But this one, this is a hybrid. And this is one of my mother's plants that I've talked about in past videos. And it is looking very, very tired. And the leaves are browning and curling up, so there's not much life left in this one. And I think this is only one of 3 tomato plants that I have left that is still alive. Basil has not given up anything. It's been very, very prolific. This fig tree has grown like crazy. I don't see any figs on it. This is the 3rd year for this tree, but I cut it back a lot last year. Like, I cut everything off of it and cut it down. But it has grown a lot. Yeah, there are some baby figs, but at this late point in the season, I doubt they will turn into much. I think I had figs on it late in the season last year, and they just got to marble size and they fell off. It's healthy, but it's not producing. And my second fig tree, did I call it a fig tree in the beginning? I think I did, but I don't remember. But it is a fig tree. I don't know the brand or the variety because it was given to me as a small thing in a pot a couple of years ago. But the second one across the other side of the garden, it's much smaller, and while it has a few leaves, it's not as healthy. Well, I don't mean to imply it's unhealthy. It just hasn't done much. Let me come over here and I'll show you. There's very little action going on with this fig tree. It has a few leaves and some new stuff coming out. It was filled out a month or two ago, and it looked like it was going to be great, but the heat just, got to it and everything fell off of it. But now it's trying to make a comeback, but it's a little too late in the season for such, so I'm probably not gonna, I know I'm not gonna see any, I know that I'm not gonna see anything from these fig trees this year.